You know a movie is bad when no one's talking about it. You know a movie is worse when it's a sequel to one of the greatest horror films of all time. You know a movie is even the worst when not even a bootleg site has it. I can't show you clips of this film. I can't. The reason being is I can't find clips of the movie online. The movie is Festival of the Living Dead, which I will both consider the best Night of the Living Dead movie since 1990 and the worst movie I've seen this year so far. And I saw Frogman. This movie is boring, but it's also offensively boring and bad. Somehow, the Soska sisters have done a worse movie than Rabid. And before I get hate on me, this isn't a rant against female directors in horror. This is a rant against two female directors in horror who have had multiple chances to do something good and keep doing not the good. This movie is painful to watch. This was on Tubi, so it's free. Technically, you gotta watch the commercials too to get through it, but at the same time, good gravy, this is bad watching. But first off, it's shot, like, picture-wise, it looks like a fucking Disney film. Which, I get, you're trying to get on budget, but why does it have to look like a Disney film? It is just hard to look at. Even worse is, it is an ugly Disney film. I'm not talking about the actresses or actors. I'm talking about the aesthetic. This is supposed to be set at a music festival, honoring the victims of the 1968 Night of the Living Dead. Because in this world, that happened, and Ben lived. So, they don't explain how. They don't explain if Barbara lived, because, I guess, fuck her, I guess. They don't explain if anyone in that house lived, but they did show plenty of stock footage from the original film, alongside the Cuban Missile Crisis, alongside plenty of stock footage from the 60s, and I think even a piece of stock footage from 9/11. I'm not kidding. I'm probably wrong, but I saw a plane go towards some buildings. So for all I know, that was either a drone strike in some other country, or I've lost my damn mind. Because I want to be wrong. I want to be the dog is trying to climb up my back. I want to be wrong. I want to think no one's that sick to use actual footage of human suffering, but hey, I mean, if Zack Snyder can do it, I guess we can too. Oh, God. They're also apparently working with Eric July on their next book, so I kind of don't give a fuck what they think anymore. But anyway, apparently this is about Ben's granddaughter, whose boyfriend, who flip-flops between personalities halfway through the film, gets tickets that are about $1,000 each to go to the Festival of the Living Dead and a band called Goddessilla. No offense, if in no matter what universe, if you name your band after Godzilla, chances are Toho's gonna give you a fucking copyright strike. Or send their lawyers. Probably both. But, yeah, they're accompanied by his extreme douchebag brother, like, the king of douche bros, and two of these wannabe influencers who are dressed like 90s X-Men characters. I don't mean like in the 90s X-Men uniforms. I mean like if they wore like all silver or blue and they had like face paint and all sorts of stuff. They look like glam fairies. They look like glam fairies. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Like imagine Dee Snider mixed with Joan Jett. You got it in your head now, don't you? But anyway, so her friend offers to babysit her brother. Her friend is played by the actress who played Selena Kyle in Gotham, which I didn't find out until I actually did some research for this film. So, yay me. Incidentally, in that research, the Wikipedia is unfinished. The cast list is unfinished. There's no reception on the page right now as of recording. The plot description is non-existent. And there's no other info on the release section except for the fact that it was released on last Friday. So that's always fun when your movie is so fucking bad that not even Wikipedia wants to finish it. Incidentally, their last movie, Rabid, still has an incomplete Wikipedia page, in case you want to go check it out. The plot's not done. I haven't seen anything informational about it, and as always, it was a shitty remake. Anyway, they drive off a road after they encounter a traffic jam to this festival. And can I just say that for $1,000 a ticket, this is the most bare bones fucking festival I think I've seen in a movie. Like, there's nothing there. The stage is bare bones. It looks like a fucking, like, county fair. There's a cabin for medical stuff, but it looks like the kind of cabins I used to work at as a camp counselor. There's nothing at this place. There's barely any food. There's barely any drinks. This is like the barest of bones. When you compare this to other, like, mini-budget horror films, this is kind of shit. Like, you couldn't spend a few extra bucks to get, like, some more vendors? Like, I guarantee there are vendors in British Columbia, where you filmed this, that would have gladly worked for a few bucks. I mean, you could have filmed it in Philadelphia, you know, the home of George Romero. You say you're goddamn horror fans, but you won't even film a Night of the Living Dead movie in fucking Pennsylvania. Like, the Monroeville Mall would have probably let you do this for cheap. Because the Monroeville Mall is where they shot Dawn of the Dead. And $5 says they would have let you use their parking lot for, like, a few weekends to film the movie. I really just get stunned when I think about this film. But yeah, earlier I said Ben lived. So, in God, what is the term? A rec room in the house is an old picture of Ben. I think it's supposed to be Ben. I don't know what the actor looked like in his older age, but he's balding a bit and everything like that. Like, I'm balding now. And they have the lever action from the original film. I don't know if it's the same type of lever action, though, because it looked way different from the original. The original, I think the barrel was different, and the stock was a little different. And it just it bothers me. It bothers me. So, if Ben's alive, why not just get Tony Todd to play him? I mean, I get it. He played him in the 90 film, and he died in that film. But if you don't give a shit as it is, why not just have him play Ben? Was it that much? Did you have that little money as it is? I keep going. Here's the thing. This is the second recording. The first recording I kept going off on tangents because of talking about zombie films and stuff. But essentially, this is like a Sci-Fi Channel original movie without the fun. Like, you watch an Anaconda film or a Lake Placid film, and those are fun. They're bad, but they're hilariously bad. This film is annoying bad. This is not even a fun type of bad. The glam pixies I talked about earlier, those two girls, they die at, like, different parts of the movie. And you just assume one of them's dead. But no, she comes back later to kill one of the only good characters the movie had, which is this double amputee character named Blaze, who's a stoner. Ironic, if you didn't know what the word ironic means. Because the Soska sisters apparently don't know how to write a character. They also helped write the film, of course. I think they did. I'm not going back to watch the film again. I tried to rewatch the film. It's kind of painful to sit through half the time. I'm not gonna lie. By the halfway point, though, the movie is just terrible. So they accidentally hit a guy or a girl. Like the face, the prosthetics they use for the zombie for that scene, they look like the ones from Burial Ground: Night of Terror, or was it Burial Ground: Night of Horror? Like, there's so many Nights of blank films. I'm just going to say Burial Ground. I'll just say Burial Ground. That makes it a lot easier. And so they crash their car. It doesn't even look like the car is damaged, by the way. Like, it's just like a single ding, and that's it. And apparently this is enough to break one of the Glam Pixies' legs. And they're like, we can't carry her. We'll just leave her here. And it's like, dude, this girl is such a fucking doormat. Why are you listening to these two douche bros? Like, the fucking Paul brothers are on my screen, and I want them to die faster. So they leave them, the glam pixies there, and the whole time they're there, they are just screaming, and it is annoying at that point. So I just start using the remote control, and I just start clicking the 30-second button for a bit. Nope, 30 seconds later, they're still screaming, and then 10 seconds later, they're being attacked by the zombie. At least they know it's a zombie. Like, the rest of the fucking movie, some of the characters portray the dumbest fucking emotions. It's like, dude, what's wrong with her? Why is she acting like that? She's a fucking zombie. You know zombies exist. There's a festival dedicated to these fucking zombies. How are you this stupid? I've seen stupid. I live with stupid. I've been friends with stupid for most of my fucking life. And yet, he would understand that if you're being attacked by someone who's going, then you're fighting a fucking zombie. She's not going crazy. She's trying to eat your face. So unless some of the mushrooms you gave her, she didn't take any mushrooms, by the way. I just want to stress that. They might have slipped her something, like, between a scene that I skipped. Because I had to skip, like, some scenes. Because, like, the douche bro characters finally, in the halfway point, just show their true colors. Even though their true colors have been telegraphed a mile ahead. And they're like, well, you really don't know me. No, buddy, I telegraphed you, like, at minute 5 of the fucking movie. I knew you were going to do a scene like this. And I'm just like, fuck you. No, and then she's like, why? And then the granddaughter and the friend, they go out to get insulin for the little brother who went with them. I know I'm jumping around in the timeline at this point, but at this point, I don't fucking care. Because this movie is so boring. Nothing fucking happens in the first 40 minutes. There is a video that was sent out in universe where someone becomes a zombie and eats someone, and they're like, I can't believe they're doing this. This is so inappropriate. And I'm like, are all of you fucking stupid? Like, his eyes literally changed colors. He ripped out a guy's throat. You know zombies exist. I don't get how you could write something this fucking stupid in a world where zombies exist. And it just bugs me that this movie exists in any way, shape, and form. So anyway, Blaze and the other girl, I think her name was Sky. I'm just going to call her Kyle, because it's Selena Kyle from Gotham City. So Kyle and Blaze take the little brother, because they realize, hey, we could pretend we're vendors, because apparently they're supposed to be like what is it, like burritos and people who's selling stuff with lettuce. Like, we could do this, and we could just pretend we're there, and we can just go watch Godzilla before Toho comes in with their attack lawyers. And they all just drive off into the fucking thing, but the road's closed because, surprise, the people who did realize that something bad was happening was the fucking military, because they realized, oh shit, zombies are back, we might as well take care of it. And surprisingly, it's only happening in this one spot, because a meteorite fell to the earth. That's right, a meteorite. I'm like, you couldn't just have the world still have zombies and stuff like that. That's how it worked in like night, dawn, day, land. Like all 4 of those films, like if you died, you became a zombie. It wasn't a case of, oh, they're infected, we need to stop the infection, and then the infection will be safe. No, it was nothing. No one knew how the fuck the zombies happened. This is what I mean when I say this movie pisses me the fuck off. Because it's like the most laziest zombie movie they could fucking think of, with the laziest production they could think of, and then, they ignoring established canon from a movie that's supposed to be a spiritual sequel, even though it's using fucking footage from the original fucking movie. Do you see why I'm angry now? This movie is about a sequel to Night of the Living Dead, as Night of the Living Dead is the origin for Return of the Living Dead. And at least Return of the Living Dead explained that they changed all the facts around in Night of the Living Dead so that they wouldn't have a lawsuit brought against the director. So, Return of the Living Dead giving it all the credit because it is a good, well-written movie, explained its connection to Night of the Living Dead. This movie is doing its damnedest to kill what connections it has to Night of the Living Dead in the dumbest ways possible. Oh, God. I threw out my voice in the last take. I'm so sorry. Anyway, so they all meet up at the festival. Before that, apparently Godzilla takes the stage, and I'm expecting Godzilla to be this, like, amazing rock, because they built up Godzilla in the beginning, and I'm expecting the greatest fucking rock band ever, and it is this generic Ricky Morton from the Midnight Express looking motherfucker in a April O'Neil yellow trench coat who looks like he's about on his third day of a one-day cocaine binge. And they are doing the most generic shit rock pop. That is all that's happening. And apparently everyone's on drugs, which, okay, maybe that's how they paid the fucking actors in British Columbia now. They pay them with cocaine. I mean, they probably couldn't afford the cocaine, but hey, fuck it. But hey, people are being attacked by zombies and no one knows what to do. In a world where the zombie apocalypse has happened. And there's probably documentaries about how they killed the zombies. Fuck me! So they all meet up, and now suddenly the little brother is sick. And the douchebag bro is like, I'm gonna shoot you in the head. And it's like, he's diabetic. I'm like, when the fuck did that happen earlier in the film? You gave him a whole bag of fucking potato chips. Like, I'm diabetic. You can't just eat a whole bag of fucking potato chips and expect a normal reaction. But then they're like, oh, there's probably insulin in the ambulance. I'm like, of course! Where was the ambulance? And so, Kyle and granddaughter leave to go get the insulin. And this is when the boyfriend's like, well, we should be thinking about ourselves. Like, I hate you. And I'm like, you don't know me. And I'm like, who fucking wrote this shit? So they leave, and it's revealed that douche bro with the gun, who has a handgun he stole it from a cop, a dead cop, is now infected somehow. He's, because he's now seeing shit. Which is making me think this is actually a sequel to Day of the Dead 2 Contagion by the fucking Taurus Entertainment Company. And he sees the little boy as like a fucking zombie from The Dead Hate the Living or Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Because that's what they look like. Half the zombies don't even look like proper zombies. They look just like people with some red on their face. Or they just look like the zombies, the vampires from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And I'm not kidding when I say that. And so, like, he goes insane, and one of the goth pixies, not glam pixies, god damn, jumps on the back of the douche bro boyfriend, and he's like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And I'm like, are you this fucking stupid, or were you born this fucking stupid? And so he shoots him like 5 times and kills him, and then he gets eaten. And Blaze, the amputee, he decides the only way to survive this, he kills the glam pixie, by the way, to make sure that, you know, the little boy doesn't die. So in a show of brilliance, by the way, it's nothing to do with Night of the Living Dead here, he covers himself in blood from the dead glam pixie so the zombies don't attack him and the little kid, which, one of the smarter things in the movie. I don't know why Blaze didn't get to live through the whole film. I don't get why he didn't get to live to the end of the movie, because maybe the Soska sisters hate him. I don't know. But anyway, Kyle and the granddaughter, they go to the ambulance to get the insulin, and Kyle is like, why are you with these people? They're so fucking stupid. He's like, I want to belong. And I'm like, who wrote this? But so they split up, because that's a smart thing to do. Granddaughter gets to the ambulance. They split up, like, oh god, I'm sorry, I missed a scene. Kyle decides to light a flare to drag the zombies away. Granddaughter goes into the ambulance and encounters one of the paramedics. I don't know if this is a reference to Return of the Living Dead, because he's still alive, but he's like, they wanted me to save him and I couldn't save him, and I'm like, I'm still watching this, fuck. And so she hands him a leg because he turns into a zombie and he starts gnawing on it, and I'm like, So Blaze and Tim and the grandson's name is Tim, meet up with granddaughter whose name is Ash. Wrong fucking movie series. And they end up getting attacked by douchebag who says, well, why don't you go find a car for us to leave in? And because there's like all the cars for the people who've been killed, and like he could just steal one of those. And I'm just like, you have a gun, shoot him. Like, he probably doesn't have the right reflexes. Nope, we're gonna just deal with this shit. So, and meanwhile, the one scene they have for the trailer, the rock and roll scene where Kyle fights the zombies on the stage, I'm not kidding, that scene is barely a minute long, and they show all of it in the fucking trailer. That scene, which has been done better in tons of other movies and games, like Left 4 Dead 2, Dance of the Dead, the game Alan Wake. It's been done so many other times, and so much grander and better. And I'm just like, where did the money go? I've seen micro-budget films do better with this. I've seen zombie films with micro-budgets do better than this. So anyway, she then starts climbing a giant statue, which they were going to set on fire later. And what do the zombies do? In the original film, fire scares the zombies. So I want you to guess what the zombies do. They try to still get to her, even though she's surrounded by fire. I hate this film with a passion. And so, granddaughter and Kyle, they get back together under the stage because of the fire and everything. And they're like, I was thinking of just jumping in there and letting them bite me. And I'm like, why? You were safe on the top of the statue. You could have just grabbed some fire. Oh, wait, no, the zombies aren't afraid of the fire as much. God, how many bullets do you have left? Not enough. And I'm just like, no. No, the infinite ammo glitch ran out, so we cut to morning. Blaze and Asshole and Grandson show up in the parking lot. People are still being eaten, by the way, and being attacked. So these zombies are either running fast, which I didn't mention earlier, I'm sorry, or they're slow as shit. So these are obviously the zombies from Dying Light. So anyway, other Glam Pixie is there, attacks Blaze, douchebag, and throws the grandkid into the car and drives off away from everyone, even though they were right behind them. Because you gotta do every fucking cliche in the fucking book. I'm sounding like my brother Jared now, aren't I? Anyway, it's revealed Blaze got bitten by Glam Pixie. But oh, don't worry, the car comes back because Grandson literally grabbed the gun from Prick and shot him in the head. Because he also came back because the military is going to bomb the whole area. Sure! So, they all drive off, the bombs go off, and a song plays on the radio, and Kyle's like, this is Blaze's song, and I'm expecting some bullshit ending. Nope, it just ends. It just ends on the vehicle being seen from a drone's point of view. And I'm just like, thank fuck the movie is finally fucking over. God damn it. You guys could have waited a second. I'm sorry. This movie was a pain to sit through. It is less than 100 minutes, but it feels like 3 hours. This is an insult to Night of the Living Dead, but I want to stress what I meant by earlier by saying it's the best thing to come from Night of the Living Dead since 1990. Night of the Living Dead is public domain, and since its inception into the public domain, nothing but shit has come from that. We've had bad animated versions, which are just rehashing the original plot. We've had bad versions of the movie remade in UK, which have things I can't even mention on this video, because I will get flagged. And you know I'll get flagged, because I'm adding the Ripaverse tag to this, so I can bash on it a little bit more. We've had bad comics from the original writer, one of the original writers, I should say, John Russo. Because if I've learned anything in the last 30 years, people with the last name of Russo seem to be hacks. John Russo and Vince Russo. One's a hack at horror, one's a hack at wrestling. Which one's worse? Discuss in the comments, because I already know the answer. It's both. we've had bad video game adaptations. I assume, because I've never seen a video game adaptation of Night of the Living Dead. So maybe there's a fan version of the game. There is a game version of Dawn of the Dead from the 1980s from Europe. I'll talk about that in another video, I guess. This was a pain to get through. The fact that it took this long to get the vlog ready is just a testament to how bad it is. It's one of the worst films I've seen this year. But will it be the worst? Because there's still a lot of other films coming out this year. This isn't even the only direct-to-video movie I'm watching this year. If you like the video, please like, subscribe. If you really like the video, please consider donating down below. I could use the help when it comes to funding movies for the channel. I'm going to be getting rid of some books in the future to help fund the channel some more. But if you can really help out, donate $1 or $2. If you can't, spread the video around like a virus itself. Because honestly, at least I give more of a shit than the Soska sisters. Thank you. Have a great day. If it's your birthday, happy fucking birthday.